Hi everyone, this is my package from Ferris Wheel Press, and I just wanted to show you, there seems to have been a package upgrade from how Ferris Wheel Press used to package their inks and other accessories. I have my previous packaging still. I kind of kept it, but essentially it was a bunch of this like packing paper, crinkly packing paper, and it's gonna make a lot of noise, but it was just kind of stuffed in with the inks like this, essentially like this. And so when you opened it, sometimes these ink boxes, sometimes the boxes would be like bent or opened, and there were a few instances where I thought this doesn't seem that safe for international shipping. So I was really surprised to see a much larger box, at least double the size. And they've got this crinkly I think this is, it's like you pull it apart instead of using bubble wrap, which is really nice. This is much more efficient, but I just don't get it because they also wrapped it in plastic. And it didn't really make sense for this because it's a fountain pen. But I guess that's they're testing out new packaging, hopefully. I wonder. I'm not sure. But you've got I've got in this package the Carousel fountain pen. This one is called Feathered Flight. And to go with that, some more in plastic, which is really great for the ink. Now there shouldn't be too much of a risk of being spilled or damaged. Maybe they were getting feedback where their packaging was not sufficient, which I think is great that companies are taking a look at feedback. So this is called Unfettered Flight, and it's supposed to match quite well with the Carousel fountain pen. This, I think, was standard for everybody to announce, Unfettered Flight, which will be available March 1st. This Carousel fountain pen was one of two options. So the other one that could have been offered is the roundabout rollerball pen, and it's also in the color Feathered Flight. And then this is the calligraphy ink that was available, and it was also one of two options. I got my PR package as an entirely blue experience, it seems. The other item that I received was called Ultra Marina, and it's professional calligraphy ink, which should not ever be used in a fountain pen because it will clog things up. The packaging is still beautiful, and I really love this periwinkle blue color. It was one of two options. The other option was a mossy green color, and that one was called Juniper Moss. And the description of it: traverse through the wilderness alongside courageous moss brothers on a daring journey, experiencing the enchantment of lush forests and verdant vistas. Like dew-colored moss reflecting the morning sun, this deep green shimmers with a rich gold, ready to adorn your next letter or postcard. Let the adventures of the Brothers Moss inspire your next great adventure. Let's take a look at some of these items from the March launch, which is launching March 1st. Start off with this unboxing. So this is my first fountain pen from Ferris Wheel Press. I'm really excited about it. I've been eyeing the fountain pens, so I'm really excited that we got something that matches the ink. It has a lot of imagery of the swans again, because this again is part of the FerriTales launch. This is the Wild Swans, the third chapter, or the final chapter that they're producing. So this, you can see all the swans that have crowns on their heads, and they are flying in the air. And this one is called Feathered Flight. On the side, it says, designed and assembled in Toronto, Canada, made in Taiwan. I didn't know that. Fun. I'm in Taiwan right now. It's funny how they made this in Taiwan, sent it to Canada, and then Canada sent it back to me. So you can see a cat there, which is the Princess Patch, probably, because she's a cat, as evidenced by my discovery last month. And this says, the Carousel fountain pen, capturing your most magical memory of the Midway. The Carousel comes equipped with a converter that is ready to be filled with your favorite fountain pen ink. Bring your brightest ideas to life with the spirit of the carnival. And then on this side, this is again still gilded with gold. You can kind of see the outline of the fountain pen with this custom ground nib. And there's also a refillable converter that is included. So when you open it up, there's a little notch here that you can pull out your pen. The packaging is always excellent. The pen itself does not have any additional hardware to it. No, it's not a twist. You just pull it. But with the lid itself, it's got many facets, which means it won't be rolling around like that. It will, if you've got it capped, it will stay put on your desk, which is nice. And then the pen body, mine is a little bit scratched up. I don't know if you can see that. Then when you unscrew it, you have a converter, and they just put it back. They just inserted it backwards, but you can just push it down. Oh yeah, it takes a little bit of effort to push it down, but that stays really nice like that. Personally, I enjoy filling this with a syringe to get the maximum fill. But that is the Carousel fountain pen, and I think this is a medium nib. The Carousel is a joyous writing instrument that combines tactility and nostalgia in a lightweight body to create a charming experience with every single detail. The custom ground steel nib is playful and agile, producing beautifully nuanced lines with its subtle flexibility. Available in both fine and medium weights, this nib is stamped with a galloping horse that dances to your every word. Presented in a joyous blue, Feathered Flight, this small batch run is a limited edition and available only while quantities last. Every Carousel fountain pen comes equipped with its own ink converter, ready to be filled and refilled all over again with your favorite Ferris Wheel Press ink. I talked about this before, but because of the facets, it says it's 12-sided bollard cap inspired by the memories of the merry-go-round and complete with embossed typography. Oh, so here, Ferris Wheel Press and Carousel. When you open it up, this is a hexagonal grip section drawing from the nuts and bolts of Ferris Wheel Press history in printmaking. So it feels quite comfortable to hold. The capping mechanism, it is an air-sealed locking cap. So when you hear that click, it means that it is locked in and it should not dry out. The capped length in total is 128 millimeters, and posted is the same, 128 millimeters. So the body is, I said it was plastic, but it's actually acrylic blend with a gloss finish, and this is a medium nib, so it's a 1.0 millimeter custom ground, and the converter itself inside is an international size converter. Let's talk about this, which is the ink that is launching on March 1st. So this one is the final chapter of the Wild Swans, and it's called Unfettered Flight. And again, you can see the same kind of imagery as the fountain pen box. It says that the base is light blue, there's no sheen. The shimmer is pink and gold, and it has high shading. And this one says that you should rinse thoroughly and each time you use a new ink. So, yeah, it will be perfect for broad nib. So what this says here is, every obstacle is a chance to flourish. Join Princess Patch as she navigates through it's the same as before, I think. Spread your wings. Okay, so as she navigates through formidable tribulations, emerging radiantly inspired. Spread your wings and trust that you will fly. With your flock by your side, transformation into your true self will follow in a flurry of feathers. Go forth and take flight. It's difficult to read, but hopefully you can see that. And the ink itself has that shimmer, gold pink shimmer, really similar to Knitted Nettle. So Knitted Nettle had a little bit less shimmer, but this one is more of a purple gold, and this is a pink gold. This is going to be a really light colored ink though, while this one was quite dark. Okay, so the description says, Ferris Wheel Press rejoices for the third chapter of our story. As Princess Patch's journey comes to a close, armed with love and magical sweaters, the incantation unfolds. Feathers turn into limbs, beaks soften into smiles, and the curse is shattered in a joyous crescendo. Plunge your quill into the reservoir of your courage and let this light shimmering blue ink weave its enchantment as you dare to dream your own inspiring tale. So the ink tone is light blue with duochrome gold pink shimmer, and the characteristics are radiant, glowing, sunny, rejuvenating. Back to this box, it shows here some notable design details as Princess Patch the cat rides on the back of one of her brothers, looking determined as ever to succeed in her goal. And then you can see kind of in the background lots of feathers and some of those sweaters that she knitted using the Knitted Nettle. And so it says, hand knit cardigans fly through the air, ready to be plucked by feathered brothers. In the scuttle and flurry of feathers, Patch has lost her knitting needles. Can you spot where they have gone to? So I think here, these two are knitting needles. And then the sun hits the feathers in such a way that they glow a rosy pink, which is inspired by the pink duochrome shimmer. So you can see the special foil here in the pink. So, to my APICA Premium C.D notebook, this really is supposed to be fountain pen friendly. So we'll do a quick swatch using a glass dip pen. You can see the blue there. Oh wow, this one is really tough to open. It hurts my hand. It's so pretty. You can see that pink shimmer coming through, and then that blue in the background. This is such a pretty ink. It's starting to feather again. Okay, let's try to get a little bit more. So pretty. Okay, so to see that color, you can see the base colors for sure. It would have been so nice if they could have put a little bit of shimmer or like I don't know, like a glittery, sparkly finish on there. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is shake this up again and get a little bit into the syringe so you can ink this up. I always like to push it up for the first fill, and then a little bit more. I don't know if that was correct. But then this way your nib doesn't get dirty, although it will take a little bit of time for it to start, I believe. Let me close that first. So this again is Unfettered Flight with the Carousel fountain pen called Feathered Flight. So Unfettered Flight and then the Carousel fountain pen. Comes out much lighter when you have the Carousel fountain pen. It's not depositing as much of the shimmer or ink. But this one, I don't know if I haven't given enough time. The ink is definitely coming out. Just can't see any of the shimmer. So definitely with the shimmer, the ink becomes much more prominent. But when it's kind of in the fountain pen, the shimmer is having a hard time coming out. And then the final item here is the professional calligraphy ink. I talked about it before. You definitely should not be using this in a fountain pen or anything that is hard to clean out. Do not use this in fountain pens, rollerball pens, or with feeder systems. These are opaque pastels. They're formulated for legibility on black paper. Interesting. I will probably test it again later, but I'll just do a quick swatch for now. It's supposed to be waterproof acrylic ink, smudge resistant, light fast, and it has a much larger bottle opening. So it's a 2 centimeter bottle opening rather than their traditional, probably 1 centimeter one. There is also a silicone stopper here to prolong the life of every bottle, and notable features is a mixture of land and ocean, much like the lovely couple who have made it work in spite of their differences. Sir Finley donned some fetching scuba gear, ready to deep dive into the sea. Quite a sight, seeing as he can fully breathe underwater. On this box, it's this ink is called Ultra Marina, and there was a story behind this one as well, which is fun. It's a couple that is making it work. So, okay. Here is This one is Sir Finley, and he is a fish, some type of fish. He's got some cute scuba gear on, but it's really weird because he's a fish and he can breathe underwater. While this one is Miss Lacewood, and she looks like a mouse. So she peers over her stylish glasses to take in her husband's shenanigans from the safety of the sun-drenched beach. Interesting. So interesting how this lovely couple is trying to make it work in spite of their very different backgrounds, as you could say. There's not much more to this except to test it out. So the ink does not have any, does it say? It just says it's opaque periwinkle. There's no other notes about it. So I see some settling in the bottle. It looks like it's kind of like white settling after maybe being in the box at an angle. So I just shook it as much as I could. This is a really nice bottle. I really like this bottle a lot. So it says it would have a silicone stopper. I'm wondering, oh yeah, that is very thick. I think I'm just going to do a quick little swatch like that. You can see it already starting to dry up, so I better put that back. I definitely got too much, and it's so thick that it's not really coming off this pen. Yeah, I guess it's extremely opaque and dries really fast. I think this would be really nice with one of those calligraphy pens that are like very flexible. But yeah, I just dip it into a little bit of water and you can kind of get it started again. I like the consistency better when you've dipped it in a bit of water. You could use it for a long time after dipped it into water. I did get some of that ink on me, and it seems like it will be pretty easy to wash off if you don't leave it to dry on any sort of writing instrument. But that's such a big difference in writing samples. So this is the professional calligraphy ink in Ultramarina. This one is Unfettered Flight using the Carousel fountain pen, which is really light. And then when I use the dip pen, the glass dip pen, Unfettered Flight is much more legible with all that shimmer. So I think I will have to let this kind of settle into the grooves a little bit more even, and see if it starts to write better after a couple of hours. Although it is already kind of better. And you can definitely use the code CTD on the Ferris Wheel Press website to get 10% off of your purchase if you wanted to add any of these to your collection. So we've got Unfettered Flight, Ultramarina, and the Ferris Wheel Press Carousel fountain pen. That is called Feathered Flight. So we'll go through that again, but it is actually really pretty with that shimmer. And then this one I give another chance to kind of soak in. And then this is the very opaque calligraphy ink called Ultramarina. So thank you so much for watching this video and watching while I tested out some new products, new to me products. Let me know what you thought of the calligraphy ink and the Carousel fountain pen, as well as, did you like this color? Did you think that the shimmer is breathtakingly gorgeous? I love that. I love the shimmer. I think it really needs like a super broad, juicy fountain pen though, for it to really have all the properties shown really nicely. But that's it for this Fountain Pen Friday, which is late. I'm sorry, but I received my package on a Saturday anyway. So I will try to get this up as soon as possible, and I hope you guys enjoyed. Please like and subscribe, and be sure to come back for my next video. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.